Good day, everyone. I welcome you on to another episode of Chemistry Simplified with Gido Academy, where we actually simplify SSC chemistry for WAEC students and JAMB students. And in this particular video, we're talking about element and what? And compound. Elements and compound. So we actually simplify elements and compound in this particular video. First of all, what are elements? Elements are substances that cannot be split. You can't split elements into simpler form by ordinary chemical reaction. They can actually be splitted, but by ordinary chemical reaction, they can't be splitted. The truth that some people will tell you that elements cannot be splitted, and they are correct. But because of the adventure of splitting of atoms and the rest, we say elements can actually be splitted, but not by ordinary chemical reaction. And please take note, we have 118 elements in the periodic table. 118 elements in the periodic table. And elements generally, they are metals. We have non-metals. But there are some elements that are neither metals, non-metal. We call them what? Metalloid. Which are also known as semi-metals. So metals ionizes by loss of electron. Non-metals ionizes by gaining of electron. Then we have the metalloid, which are semi-metal. They have the characteristics of metal and non-metal. So these are the three major classification of elements in the periodic table. But please take note, if you are asked how many metals do you have in the periodic table, I can't really give you a particular value, but please take note, most elements in the periodic table are actually metals, followed by non-metal. Then we have few, about 8 or 9, between 7 to 9 that are metalloid. So please take note of that. We have metals, we have non-metal, we have metalloid, and all the elements in the periodic table, they are 118 in numbers. There's something I found very, very interesting for most students that can't really write the first 20 elements. I will always say, this is mnemonics I always give to them. Hello, hello, listen, BBC News on Friday night. Some men are selling on Friday night. Some men are selling potatoes. So come and pay cash. Let me count if they're up to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So they are 20. Hello, hello, listen. BBC News on Friday night. Some men are selling potatoes, so come and pay cash. Or he has large brain but cannot offer full 9 subjects. Many ask them prove several complaints about passing chemistry. So that is for that. Now, let's start the whole work. H stands for what? Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and calcium. But that's just by the way. Where I even find it so interesting, most of those students that are writing WAEC, they write chlorine like this. This is not chlorine. This is Cl. They write potassium, calcium like this. This is not calcium. This is Ca. Just put C there so it can be cut. They write argon like this. This is not argon. This is that's not argon. If you must write argon, all the elements in the periodic table. This is, if you write H like this is not hydrogen. If you write He for me like this as helium, I will call this He. That's not helium, that's He. So if you truly want to learn how to write elements in the periodic table, the first letter must be capital letter, while the next one will be small letter. So He. Hydrogen is capital letter H. Lithium is L, capital letter S, small letter I. So the first letter must be capital letter, then you can pick any of the letters. Li. Then sodium is Na. Why is sodium not So? Because of the Latin name. The Latin name of sodium is what? Natrium. So this is the Latin name, natrium. For potassium is kalium. For iron, which is Fe, is ferrum. For mercury, which is Hg, is hydrargyrum. So in case if you are seeing sodium and you are expecting sodium to be S is sulfur, Why not use SO? Please, we can't use SO. We are using the Latin name, which is what? Na, and Na stands for what? For natrium. So please, these are some of the things I want you to take note of. You don't write, most especially for those of us that will be writing WAEC exam. If you write something like this, they will not mark it for you. They will just say that you don't know what you are doing. So please be very, very careful of whatever you are doing. Most especially now that WAEC is CBT. So if you see all these cheap questions, just know the right answer or how to tackle it. Then apart from that, apart from the symbol, what are compound? Compound consists of two or more elements made up of what we call what? Compound. And let's say this is sodium chloride. Then how many elements do we have there? Two. We have sodium plus what? Plus chlorine. Then this is hydrogen tetrasulfate 6. This is 4. How many elements do you have there? We have hydrogen, yes. We have sulfur, yes. We have what? Oxygen. Then please, this is an introduction. I can't write oxygen like this. I must write oxygen like this, because if I should write something like this is O. But I believe you understand what I'm saying. Chlorine should also be 2 here to make it chlorine. But let's just try something like this so you understand more. Then if you have lead 2 tetrasulfate 6, this will give us Pb, lead. So why is it that lead, L-E-A-D, and I'm seeing Pb here? Because the Latin name of lead is what? Plumbum. Plumbum. That's why we have this Pb. Then we have sulfur, we have what? Oxygen. What about our alcohol, CH3COOH? Sorry, this is ethanoic acid. So we have carbon, we have hydrogen, then we have what? Oxygen. What about our alcohol, CH3, CH2OH, which is your common ethanol, or C2H5OH, or C2H6O. So what do we have there? We have carbon, we have hydrogen, and we have what? Oxygen. So these are some of the things you are expected to know about element and what? And compound. As a student that is preparing for WAEC exam, there is need for you to know at least the first 30 elements, the first 30. I always say my students that if you don't know the first 30 elements and you are preparing for WAEC or JAMB exam, that means you don't know what you are doing. So let's go. If you know it, follow me. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, that's 10. Sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium, that's 20. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, that's 30 before you enter gallium and germanium and the rest ones. But please, I'm begging you, as a student that is preparing for WAEC exam or JAMB exam, the minimum element you are expected to know is 30 out of the 118. If you are still struggling with 20 elements, that means you don't know what you are doing. This is mnemonics for the first 20 elements. Lovett, please stop. Sorry. Hello, listen. BBC needs of Friday night, so many are selling potatoes, so come and pay cash. Or he has large brain but cannot offer full night subject. Many ask to prove several complain about passing what? Chemistry. So I believe that to an extent I've been able to simplify chemistry for WAEC and JAMB exam. Assuming I don't want the video to be too long, if not I would have explained deeper into it. But with this idea and the one you have read so far, I believe we are good to go. Thanks for watching. See you in our next episode on simplifying chemistry for WAEC and JAMB students.